Okay, I am recording because sometimes not in the main plan view or even in the main plan view, we need to create or we need to differentiate between different uses with colors. We can find examples of presentations like this. Okay, so sometimes we can do something like that. In addition to the tiles, we can have different colors for different spaces of the building. We can use renders in plans. I think this is good for selling houses, but well, I don't like it, so that's why I'm not explaining this. But just creating a presentation with colors and having a legend here to understand, yeah, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. So this can be useful in order to understand the project, especially complicated projects like this Educatorio that we are working with. Okay. So let's do it. So the first thing, we need to divide the plan in different spaces. And we can do this using, if we go to analyze, here we have space. You see that we have spaces, but we are using this for analyzing thermal properties or thermal loads. We want just to divide different spaces. I think it's better to use rooms. Okay, so let's use room. And by using rooms, the first thing, we need a boundary. If we don't have a boundary, we can't, okay, so here we have a defined boundary. So you see how here we can place a room. Okay. And here we don't have a defined boundary because probably there's an opening somewhere. Yeah, so this is not closed, there's an opening. So we either close it, or if you don't want to, we can always use room separator. Okay. So if we are using doors, and this is a door, it works as a room separator. But if we have a gap, then we need to use this line. It's just a line that doesn't exist, but it allows you to create that room that is not working yet. Why? There should be a gap somewhere. I don't know where the gap is. Here we do have a room. And here we don't. Is it because the walls are not getting to the floor?
I think it's because the egg is suspended.
No, but it shouldn't be, because here we have the same issue. Here we don't have, we can't create a room. So I think there should be an issue with the walls, and they are not attached to the roof itself. Let me find out. Architecture view section. No, because even if we delete the egg, I think we will have the same. Okay, if we delete this, the room separator, and we just try to trim. Okay, and we try to create a room. Oh, yes, so there's something wrong with the egg. Okay. Oh, I think I know what it is. Probably because this room separator is too short and we need to extend this up to this wall. Let me see now. Okay, that is. Okay, so if you extend the room separator from this point to that point, it works. Okay, so we have rooms, but it doesn't explain why we can't create those rooms here. So, okay, we have the structure. This might cause some trouble. But first, we have to make sure that all these walls are connected. Trim. Then I need to place room. Now when, okay, I think this can be a reason. There's a gap here. When there's a gap, the room doesn't work. So we have to make sure that we don't have gaps. We can always create a room separation by creating a rectangle. And then we, what the hell? Okay, that works because here we have a lobby. But there is something, yeah, so there is something probably with the height of things here. This is the room. I don't understand why this room is not going up to this place. And then there's something wrong in this at this level. Okay, so let's work with these two, with the rooms that we have already created. So here we have like a, we can name this a lobby. We can name this auditorium. And this is the theater. Okay. So at least now we have 1, 2, 3 different rooms. And okay, so we can work with room and area color schemes. Okay. So now category, we have to select rooms because this is what we have. What we have created. We have created rooms, and now we can rename this like colors level 20. Okay, so here you can see that we have the auditorium, the lobby, the room. There's another room somewhere. Ah, that tiny room, and then the cap. We can change the colors. Okay, so those colors are not probably the best options. So we can always change the colors. Don't go crazy with colors. Okay, so I would use a lobby like something grayish, light. And then for the auditorium and the theater, maybe we can do something different. I always use the same colors because when I was a student, I don't know, I used the colors and the teacher told me that those colors went well, and now I'm always using the same colors. Okay, so as you can see, nothing happened here. We have to go to the properties, windows, graphics, and here we have the color scheme. And we have to select the rooms and colors level 20. Then we have to apply. And then the color scheme location, it has to be in the foreground. Okay, there you go. But if we're using colors, I think we have to get rid of the materials. How can we do that? I think we have to select this. We have to filter. What is this, a roof or a floor? I think it's the roof. Apply. Okay. And now if we override graphics in view, we don't need to show any of these elements. Okay, so now it's white. And we have to do the same here. So select this, filter. This is the roof. Apply and override graphics element. And do not show any of the materials that we have here. And now it's white. Okay, so that's the effect of working with this. We have a room number 2, so this can be the storage. And I want to change the color schemes. So I want the room to be, because this is a storage, so the storage has to be something gray. But the theater, I want to be orange. Okay, that looks better. Well, so that's a nice way to explain the different elements we have here. So then I will try to find something different for, but it makes sense because since they are at different levels, so this is a slope and this is a different level. So it makes sense that we can create another schematic views with this one. Okay. Now we have to adjust the scale because probably this is too big, 1/8. So let's say 1/16. And now in one of those views, we can, or we can work with level 20 color. Is it too big? Yeah. Okay, I like it. But now we have to work with all the rest of the levels. So we are going to duplicate level 10. And let's call it level 10 color. I think we have to select this. We have to override graphics in view by category, and we have to delete the materials. Okay, and let's see how the rooms work here. Well, this is outdoors, so we don't have a room here because this is outdoors, this ramp. And now if we want to place rooms, nothing's working. Great. I don't know why we can't place oh, yeah, I know why. Because that building is complicated for placing rooms. Duplicate. Okay, thank God that these rooms are working. And you only have, if you have a restroom, you don't need to place a room and say restroom or storage or whatever. So we only have to place rooms that are relevant with the project. Okay, so probably here, this is not closed, and we will need to close this element so that we can place rooms. Or we can work with the room separator here. Well, actually, this is like an open space. So probably that works. Okay, so I don't know, this is office 1, and this is office 2. Office 3. Office 4. 5. I don't know, this can be the kitchen. I don't know if these are kitchens or offices or whatever. And this is the, what can be copy room. And whatever. Okay, if we go to architecture, room area, color schemes. Now we have all these. We have the auditorium, the copy room, and now we have to select a different color for all these elements. Okay, before doing this, this is the restaurant. Since this is an open space, it makes sense that it's okay, so we have all this room here, so it makes sense because everything is open. And that will be the restaurant. So the restaurant, I want this to be gray. And I don't want to show the theater. I don't want to show the auditorium. I don't want to show that room because those belong to the other level. So I just want to show this one. And I want all the offices to be the same color. And green color. We have the restaurant, the storage. We're not showing the storage. We have the copy room and the kitchen. Okay, let's apply. But here we need to duplicate, and this is colors level 0. Apply. And now in graphics, we have to go to color scheme, rooms, colors level 0. Okay. And well, and now that scale would be 120. And now on this one, oh, I think I made a mistake. Yeah. Yeah. I clicked apply before creating a new, because in this level I want all these colors, but in this level I don't want to show the theater room, I want to show the auditorium, storage, the room, and I don't want to show the lobby, and I don't have the area, color schemes. Okay. This is the restaurant. Now this room area, I do restaurant, and I want this to be gray. In graphics, I have to select rooms, colors. There you go. And now on this view, I should have colors here. Great. And then on level 0 colors, the scale is 120. And now on this view, I can insert this one, and they will be aligned. Perfect. And finally, I'm going to try level 30. Okay, on level 30, we have these rooms here. I'm going to duplicate. Level 30 colors. And I want to insert rooms. It's working. This room is working, and this is working as well. So that's okay. So this is another lobby. This can be an exhibition hall. Number 2, and this can be exhibition hall number 1. And what is this? Corridor. I need to change this material. Okay, now it's white. And now I want to work with the color schemes. I don't want to show the offices. I have the exhibition hall, the corridor. I want to show the restaurant. Okay. Now I duplicate. This is colors level 30. And I'll try something different for the exhibition hall. Apply. Oh, I don't have the lobby. And graphics, color scheme, rooms, level 30. And foreground. Now the scale is 120. And here I got this. Well, I think I did the same. I didn't save the colors before applying, and that's why I don't have these ones. Okay, so be careful, because every time you need a different color scheme, you need to save it. Okay, so I did it, but now I didn't save this one. Maybe I can do it right now. If I go to level 0 colors, color schemes, I want level 0. Yeah, so I deleted the office. Okay, so make sure that you save this, and now on this view we have the colors. Okay, so this is quite useful because it's nice, and we can fill those blanks that we have in this kind of sheets. And it's useful because this building is complicated. But if you use colors, I think it will help you clarify. For example, in this building, we have this open space, this big open space, delimited by curtain walls. So this is so we should have envelope or curtain walls here. This is outdoors and this is indoors. And then we have this office area or the room or the restaurant or the kitchen or whatever these spaces are. Here we have a lobby all around the auditorium, the theatrum. Okay, so we have two different elements here. And this is not defined in this floor, but we have these two exhibition halls here on level 30. Okay, so I think with these three plans, we define the building. And this is something that we all see in buildings, in public buildings, when we enter the building and we have different floors or different rooms or different offices. We always have schematics like this. Okay, so this is something that we have to get used to doing, because when the building is a public building, we need a color code to convey these ideas, or where you are here, and then you have to go to the auditorium, and probably we need a path and we need to go there. Okay, so this is the first thing that I wanted to show you today. Try to work with this, especially if you have these columns, because here you have a plan in the section or you have the axonometric view, so you can always work with these elements here. Or, for example, in this one, instead of having this, you can always use the level 0 with colors, the level 10. Okay, well, here you have the title block, but either in vertically or horizontally, you can have this just to fill those blanks that we have in this kind of presentations. Okay, so try to use these colors, and it's useful because here we are defining different rooms. We don't need the room tag. We can always edit type, and if we don't want to show the room number, for example, we don't have to do it. And then we apply, and now we don't show room numbers. We just show the name. It's better. Okay, so that is the first thing. The second thing, we are going to work with exploded views, but again, with a different criteria. So I liked what you did here in one of the sheets. Yeah, I like this thing because here you are defining different elements. So what do we have when we are working in a building? What do we have? First, we have the structure. And here you have defined the structural elements. Okay, so these red elements are structural elements, structural columns. Then we have the envelope of the building. So the envelope of the building is the curtain wall. Okay, and finally, we can say that we have the slabs or the roof or the floor. Okay, so at least these three elements are different, and we have to define them. This is a good way to do it, but I will show you a different way so that you can try. Here we have structure axonometry. Okay. So we're start working with this. I'm going to rename the exploded. Okay, so I'm going to do this, but I'm going to explode. Instead of having the same drawing highlighting different elements, I'm going to explode the elements, and then I'm going to create like different layers of information. So I select everything, and then I filter. I just want to work with the structural columns. We have columns and we have structural columns. Okay. And I want to select the floor because this is the floor in which all the columns are resting. Then I click here, displace elements, and then I go all the way down. Okay, so this is the structure. The floor, the main floor, or the basement slab, and then the structure. Then what else? I want to define, so I'm going to select everything now. And I want to filter. And now I want floors and roofs. Everything that it's a floor or a roof. Floor, roof, okay. And now I displace elements, and I'm doing this. What else? I can select. The problem is this category is the wall. Okay. Now I want to select just walls. But I don't want the curtain walls. I just want this. Well, not even this one. I don't want. I don't want the walls on the first floor. I just want the walls to the educatorium and the theater. And I don't want this facade. Oof. Oops. Okay. Let's do it one by one. And now I want to displace. There you go. And probably what do we have here? So this is what you did. You assigned a color to the curtain walls to differentiate the curtain walls from the regular walls. Okay. Well, by doing this, we have separated all these elements. So we have the structural elements in the slab. Here we have all the envelope and the internal wall partitions. Here we have these two different elements, which are the main elements on the building. And here we have everything that has to do with floors and roofs. Okay, so that's another way to define the building. Then we can create a prop, or we can show the prop view. Yep. And now we can go to a different axonometric view, this one. Okay, here we don't have anything here now. And we can go to the exploded axonometric. The right place and sheet. There you go. Maybe it's too big, so I have to go to the exploded axonometric view. Okay. Okay. So that's a different way to explain things. And we can always include text in our presentations. How can we do it? Other than this text or this title block that we have here, that sometimes it's something that the problem is that we can't hide this in view. Okay, so if you want to get rid of this, the only way is to, well, it's not the only way, but it's the fastest. And we can move it out of the sheet. Okay, and if we want to insert different text in this presentation, we can always go to annotate. We can work with text, and then we can insert here, I don't know, structural shell. No. This can be internal partitions and transparent. structural. Okay, so we can always use this to place text. And sometimes, if you click on text and you want to add some arrows, you can add something like this and say, this is the exhibition hall #1. Don't go crazy. So if you're using this kind of arrows, make sure that you always use the same. Okay, so it doesn't look professional at all if you are using text and with these arrows, and then you start doing something like this, whatever, and then another arrow here, okay. So it looks like confusing. So for the sake of the order, so just I would do this. Okay, if you're using this kind of angle, so try to use always the same angle. So this is the teatro. Then copy. And if you need to cut this, make sure that it's always the same direction, but it's different. So that would be the auditorium. Okay. So on and so forth. But sometimes there would be, okay. So sometimes maybe we need to use an angle for the elements at this side and a different angle for the elements at that side. Okay, but no more than 2 different angles for text. Okay, this can be the exhibition hall. Okay, so especially when you're working with axonometric or with schematic views, you need to work with text. Okay, so if you are in the sheet view and you click annotate, you can always work with this kind of text. Well, in annotate, you can do whatever you feel like. If you want to create some lines or something different, you can always use this, and we can always, no, we cannot create regions, but we can insert text, and it helps clarify a lot of things. Okay, because what is this? This is a structural shell, and what is this? Internal partitions, and we can always use different colors in this exploded axonometric view. We can select this, and we can always select different colors. In the presentation. Okay. Well, I think these 2 options will help you feel the presentation. We have to keep in mind that there are important elements. So in this case, the plan is the important element and the section. And there is always a column here that we don't know what to do with this column. Okay, or with this blank space. So in this case, it's always using this kind of things. So I've shown you how to do this with a section box. You see how the building is growing from level 0 to level 30. Okay, that's fine, that's an option. but then it's always useful to define the building or to define different elements of the building. Okay, so this is the structural, the vertical structural elements, the envelope, this is the internal partition, and this is the structural shell. So those are different elements that we can define. And here we have the axonometric view, and we have all this information, what these spaces are. And finally, we have the color schematics. So we can be redundant with the information, because here basically we are defining different uses, but we don't have to be redundant in the same sheet. Okay, so if we are adding these schematic views here, and in the same sheet, we have this axonometric view, it's like we are adding redundant information. But if this information, if it is in two different sheets, that works, because